Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to Will Brax, Mel B. Styles, Troy Shuker, Bose Nail, Joseph Pizarro, Samson, Maris, Mobile Max 777, Neo the One, Lost Cat FE, Rob W, Open Minded, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Mike, Muted, Dick Earth Skeptic, NA Literalist, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Rob H, The Real Gabster, Windrider, Liam Nedrick Jr., Abraham Mohammed, Naibai, Adrian Quintana, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Fireball X, theflatearthchannel.com, Texas Mike, Edwin Johnson, Kirsten Smith, and David Wayne Foster. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their conversation while I set up for today's live show.
Champagne kind of pink color, that would be cool. The Sin Cleanser roll, do it. Let's see it. Sounds good to me.
Hey, Eli. Or maybe not.
Alright. Oh, but it's not the primary color. That's too bad.
Aesthetically pleasing is what we're looking for, Ed.
Yeah, but you still have the QE special invite color. Yeah, but that's sort of pink through. Because it's okay.
I like the temp mod Lite. We need to add Lite to it.
Because the light is the first force, George. Haven't you
I
heard?
like tinfoil.
Yeah, you should have a sword to fight Puppy for sure. George.
Puppy lover battler.
It's only for this room, Steve.
Dude's pompous, man.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey,
What
Neil.
up, Neil?
So the Nathan show is here already?
Just Neil. He's just gone straight on mute. I think he's just working.
Just me. Yeah, I'm on a job site, so.
Nathan, before we start, there's still that issue with the Discord link in the description. You can create a one that doesn't like go away. Like you can create one that's always permanent, and then that way it can be part of your copy paste for every day-to-day thing.
Any chance you can get me that, however you produce it, and just stick it in
Right,
Master
I'll
B?
Master B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anywhere, or me privately, or whatever. I don't care, but I don't know how to generate it. That's why I haven't changed.
All right.
If you can get me the link, I will just change it over so that it changes each day.
I'm on it now.
Yeah, that is something that I should have sorted out a week ago. Really, if the public gateway doesn't work, that's a bit bad, really.
All right, it's there now.
Oh, perfect.
Wait,
Gotcha.
is it?
What?
Oh my goodness, what happened? Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But it's like not even showing the link. It's just,
But that's fine.
I guess
That'll
you can
work.
copy it. Yeah, yeah,
That'll
you can
work.
right click on it, I guess. Yeah, I didn't know Betty added that image for the server avatar. Interesting.
Was it not the green and black logo icon thing?
Yeah, the Black Swan.
Oh, there just isn't one. There's no link at all. It's vanished.
Yeah, it's like I posted and yeah, no. Maybe if you right click on it, can you copy it?
No, I mean in the description. There's no link at all. That's weird.
I posted the link and that's how it shows up. It's pretty weird.
No, you don't understand what I mean. In the description underneath the video that's going to go out live shortly, there's a link
Right.
to join, right? Well, there isn't a link to join.
Right,
It's not like I've removed it.
Yeah, you haven't had one for a while.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I'll have to type it in. Join link.
I gotta double check to see if
Link to join.
it didn't
There we
mess
go.
up or something. Enter in the browser. Oops.
Yeah, that's fine. https discord.gg abrhmccnb3. That looks like a normal. That looks like what was there before.
Right, and I checked it works. I just entered it in the browser.
Right, it's in there now. So when the live show does go out, will be
I'll
there.
check it then, okay.
Is everything technical sorted out?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Nathan, last night I joined that Brandon show and I got a freaking headache. Oh my God. The stuff that these people are saying. Gravity is a container. Do not need specific walls. Gravity is a container. And without gravity, I wouldn't be sitting in my chair.
Okay.
What was the other thing they were saying? Okay, that was one of them. The other one they were
Hold on.
talking about.
Hold on. To which you replied, what?
Well, to try to get a word in on that show is impossible. But I was yelling, demonstrate it for me. And then he turned around and said, you know what? I'm tired of this. Show me the container. I said, you're breathing. There's my proof of the container. You are alive today. They want visible proof of a container. I don't think they understand what the word antecedent means. And then, you know when you know you're going to win an argument and they're on the losing end? When they turn around, they just say, you know what? Gravity keeps you here. It's gravity. That's it. When you ask, what is gravity? You get the convoluted nonsense of two trying to make one between Einsteinian and Newtonian. Very frustrating. I stood maybe 15, 20 minutes and I had to go.
Okay. Sounds like you did all you could, Neil. All you can do is ask them to show their claim. If their claim is without gravity, X, Y, Z, okay, show me that situation. First, show me
Well,
gravity.
you had this one guy, Andy. He was an annoying son of a retarded, you know what, globe fundamentalist. Just kept shooting out equations for gravity and all of this other nonsense. It was just crazy, just ball. Kosho, another one with Kosho. Didn't even, when we brought him to the Coriolis, he's saying that on the rotating platform, the people are they are actually seeing the ball thrown curve. It's not a visual. They are actually seeing the ball curve.
Yeah, that's
It's
correct.
not an appearance.
That's correct.
Yes, we thought that's correct. He said it's actually curving.
Oh,
They're
no,
not
that's
just,
not
it's
correct.
not appearing, it's curving.
Yeah, it's not actually curving. It looks like it would seem to curve. You can see it curve. It's an apparent curving. But the
Right,
trajectory
but then
that
he
the
said
pic-
it's
but the-
actually curving.
Yeah, it's not actually curving in its trajectory. It's traveling straight and seems to curve because you turn beneath it.
Correct. But that's not what he said. When pushed it,
They're
he
a
said, no, it
cynical
actually
bunch
is
over there.
turning.
Yeah, they need to convolute Coriolis as much as possible because we don't see it. We don't see that effect on a claim to be Earth that's turning. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing?
Very well. Good to have you.
Not too bad. Just woke up. Is 10th man not here?
No, not yet.
This feels wrong with him not here.
Who what?
But it feels wrong without him here. Just, he usually keeps the conversation going.
Yeah, at this particular moment in time, I'm doing things, so that's why I'm not keeping the conversation quite going as much as 10th would.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to set up for this, isn't there?
Say that again.
There's a lot of stuff you got to set up for this, isn't there?
Yeah, I just had a mic issue before. Well, after I'd started recording, I had a mic issue. I noticed during my intro, so I had to stop and restart, and then restart all of my pieces of software because they all see a different mic. If the mic's not there and I unplug it and plug it in again, they all recognise it as a new device, and etc. etc. Just a load of faff.
Well, with any luck, we won't have Jerry Springer again today.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, if they, I'm surprised that the Globers don't come around no more. No, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all. But they're doing all they can to stay away from this.
Got a desire to chant their zealotry, and from Neil's telling me they get an opportunity to do it over at Brandon's. No one wants to have their zealotry shut down and corrected, refuted, rebutted. No one wants that.
No, I don't guess so, but I heard somebody say faith was belief without evidence.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right? That's what it says.
If you say so.
Well, right, but that's kind of like faith, belief without evidence in front of you. You know, things unseen. What if there's actually evidence against what you believe? What is it then?
Then it knocks out your belief. If there's contrary evidence, then you can't hold on to what you're believing in by faith.
Exactly. Then it turns into zealotry.
But if you still try to, okay, that's what I was about to say. Is that the zealotry part of it?
Yeah.
This is what I was saying when you brought up the Christianity thing. There was rock solid evidence that this whole thing didn't, whatever was, whatever, and it was fact. I mean, how long? You can't hold on to that anymore. It would hurt. It would be painful. But you couldn't be able to hold on to it anymore because now new evidence has come forth that's rock solid.
Yeah. Has there been any baller
That
actually
ended
repeat
that,
the
I
Black
guess, huh?
Swan?
What about
I haven't
if
heard
there's
any of
ballers
them
on
repeat the
Discord?
Black Swan. We got to start holding them to it.
Again,
Yeah, we
Righteous?
got some ballers on Discord. I think he was asking if there's any ballers on Discord. Is that it?
No, I was asking if there was any that have actually spoke the Black Swan correctly.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that reject the Black Swan.
No, not reject it.
Ask
Can parrot it back verbatim and demonstrate they understand the implications.
Yes, we're asking.
No,
has
they
any
can't do
of-
that.
No, they can't. Like the thumbnail for the
I think
Discord
asking
server.
them what it is yeah, maybe a good place to start.
They have a very convoluted argument. Double speak all the way through.
Thumbnail for the server is a black swan with a knife in its teeth. Love it.
One of the things that used to make me a great baller, though, was I could actually repeat back the arguments and have an explanation. It might not be a real or a good one, but I had an explanation.
What, like you tried yesterday?
Yeah, that was, yeah, it's beyond ridiculous now. Like, how can you say things like that, you know? It doesn't work. You can't hold a geometric faith and deny geometry in the same friggin' breath.
Wait, but that's exactly what they do.
I say that that's not what they do. Only the ones that appreciate the importance of making it seem like there is actually a rebuttal and offering some convoluted doublespeak in place of it, and then keeping the argument going, descending it into chaos, so that hopefully the audience don't appreciate that it's irrefutable. Most of them are still at the stage where they're burying the model further by saying refraction.
They were saying on that show last night it's impossible to have a gradient on a flat Earth.
A gradient? A pressure gradient?
Correct. It has to
Alright.
be spherical. Gravity has to hold everything in.
Gas go down, go boom boom.
That's what I hear.
Well,
No, it doesn't, no.
That was one of the biggest things I laughed about when I was a baller is, you know, I would hear people arguing over the horizon and curve calculators. And I was thinking, you know, you're arguing over a tangent point, right?
Yep.
But you can't refract a tangent. That's ridiculous.
No, you can't. That breaks the geometry. Correct.
Okay, so that's the black swan, but this other one with the gas pressure and gas going down. So because I forgot who brought it, one guy was arguing with this guy Andy, and he asked him if his tire is there more air at the bottom or the top, and they believe that there's more pressure at the bottom of the tire than all around the tire.
What? Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
That's insane.
It is. Then again, they think that the pressure we're breathing is existing next to a vacuum, which to me is far more insane.
No, the gravity, you do not need walls, regardless that it says without the walls there can be no pressure. They said you don't, gravity is all you need to keep gas pressure contained.
Doesn't
Now
make it
that
go down and go
sounds
boom
like
boom.
zealotry.
Gravity's not even a force. It's not containing gas pressure. Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below this video. Also below this video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. One last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Father of a Stolen Child, Neil, and a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Good
Wow.
afternoon.
Morning.
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, good to see you all. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as the curve of the Earth?
That's nonsense.
Nah,
But any evidence of Earth curve being measured in Google Earth?
What?
It's
Yesterday.
funny because they talked about that on Brandon's show too. And Stacy said, didn't we go over this with Nathan and Quan Racer yesterday? The same argument.
Well, you'd expect their sometimes claimed to be model, that would be Google Earth, to have some curvature in it. Not the cartoon curvature. Like the curvature in this picture now, anyone can superimpose a CGI image of curvature. But showing it being measured, that would be what you'd expect at a minimum if Earth's a sphere. However, Google Earth measurements are flat. Hey, Owen.
Hello.
So we covered this
When
back
that,
in tongue-in-cheek.
when
We
that was
covered it.
brought up to them, they said, why would you measure it from a sphere? That makes no sense. And I agree.
Well,
Wow.
either way,
Where's
you'd expect there to-
everybody?
You'd expect there to be some Earth curvature in Google Earth, and it's not like this is new. We covered this, as you said, in 2017, and tongue-in-cheek, we were like, this is our flat Earth model. Now, while I'm not saying that now, I'm saying, where's the Earth curve in Google Earth? There isn't any. It's showing it flat. That's what's being depicted in the measurements, and they're being used professionally daily. So Google Earth is flat. There's no curve, there's no drop. Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
None whatsoever.
The celestial lights are spinning.
Earth-based variety, Arwin. Always Earth-based variety.
Yeah, but if the celestial lights are spinning, then we can presuppose to be a ball Earth spinning underneath it, right?
According to Kosho, planes and things like that, you would not see any deviation because they're powered flight.
Sorry, powered flight's not going to overcome not actual drift. So if you're observing an aeroplane and you're on a roundabout in a playground, and as you turn around on the roundabout, the plane in the air looks like it has turned around also. Now it hasn't, it's continuing along its path, regardless of what you're viewing. Now the fact that you can view it seeming to turn around doesn't mean that the engines on the plane are going to negate that Coriolis deflection. So it seeming to turn around, that's a Coriolis deviation if you're watching it from a roundabout. There's nothing to negate. It's a not actual deflection. I.e. Coriolis effect, if it was observed from a turning Earth, would be you on the turning Earth, looking at things not on the turning Earth, seeming to curve when they don't. There's no actual deviation to account for. Engines won't overcome not actual drift observed because you're turning beneath things. Any evidence of the distance to the sun? Hello, Chocolate, by the way.
It's over there.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good
No
morning.
distance to the sun.
Distance to the sun, anybody?
Well,
Hey, Brian.
if I can get you to believe it,
Get me to believe a distance. Give it your best shot.
no. If I can get you to believe it, no. If I can get you to believe that it's a physical thing, the only thing it can be is a curved Earth.
What specifically? The sun?
What if we measure shadows on the ground? Would that count for anything?
Say that again, George. I've got two questions going on now.
I was saying about measuring shadows on the ground. Does it count for anything?
Did anyone else catch that?
No.
Speak slower,
Yeah,
George.
He's talking about the
Shadows on the ground.
Shadows on the ground. Does that give us distance to the sun?
No, not at all.
Unitox Femi says conservation of hiding Coriolis momentum. Okay, thanks very much, Unitox Femi.
That's
He's on the panel. Hey, Sasha. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
What is it?
Go on, Sasha or Samurai.
Gravity. Yeah, I said gravity. Gravity proves gravity.
scientific evidence for a concept. No.
You want to add something, Sam?
Afternoon, good morning, everyone.
Hey, Adam.
Hello.
Go ahead, Sam.
Adam, what's up, man?
Oh, should I present what I have?
Feel free.
So my experiment would be the Hust experiment.
Say it one more time. The what experiment?
The Hust experiment. I can post a few pictures in chat.
Hast, H-A-S-T.
H-U-S-T.
Okay.
H-U-S-T. Hast.
It's an experiment for what precisely?
I'll
Gravity.
post a few pictures. It's an high precise measurement of G.
Sounds like somebody went away for a while and came
Guys,
back with
hello?
something.
Hello? Yeah, we need to find out what it is first before we all barrage him. The measurement, you say? That sounds like mathematics. What's being measured?
Measurements aren't mathematics. No. They're direct.
Test?
Calculations are mathematics.
I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
I'm guessing because he hasn't told me.
Yeah,
He's
it's
getting lots of stony
It's an
silences.
experiment to determine G.
To determine G? What's the natural phenomena being observed?
Yeah. A mass falling towards another mass.
Well, that's not G that's being observed then. So let me get this right. Masses falling towards each other is the observed phenomena.
Absolutely. Anything wrong with that, or why are you asking?
Well, okay, give me an example.
Like, the first part is the observation. We have to ask a question. So we see an apple which has mass, and it falls down towards another mass. And then we have
Did
to
you
ask
say
questions.
observation?
Like,
Ask a
why is it
question?
falling?
Don't worry about his methodology. You're saying that it's exampled by an apple falling to the ground, right?
Or a pen, anything.
Okay. Helium balloon.
Helium balloon could be explained also by this. Would be like an explanation. Everything else is falling or being attracted more than this helium balloon, and this is why the stuff falling down is pushing the helium balloon up. But
Sorry,
it doesn't matter for the
I'm just a bit confused. The observed phenomena was things falling down. Is that not the
Absolutely,
phenomena
yes.
then?
Wait, what?
Said things falling down, dropping things, that's the phenomena I observe. I then give you an example of something going up. And you're like, well, I can explain that. It's like, well, hold on, we're not trying to explain anything yet. We're just trying to say, what are we observing happening? And if it's that things go down,
yes.
well, then they also go up. Like steam, for example.
Yes, things can go up.
So
Problem with that, it's only an observation we make.
Okay, thank you. So is the phenomena that some things go down, some things go up? Is that the phenomena?
No, Nathan, this
no.
Nothing like that. It's balls in a shed remade. So it's the basic principle of the time of swing method is to measure the change of the pendulum's period when the source masses are placed at two different positions. Okay. When considering the gravitational interaction, the motion of the pendulum can be described as blah, 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 where I represents the moment of inertia of the torsion pendulum. Lambda is the dampening factor and K is the torsional spring constant of the suspension fiber. That's how they calculate it. Balls in a shed.
How does this relate to
Did you say
dropping?
torsion pendulum?
Hold on.
Exactly.
Let's just ask Sam. I thought you said apples dropping.
Mass falling towards another mass. That's my observed phenomena.
Right. No. Steam doesn't do that. Helium balloons don't do that.
I don't care.
Sorry, you don't care that this natural phenomena is not a natural phenomena because some things do the complete opposite. You don't care. You're going to plow ahead anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Sorry, it doesn't matter that your observation is that things are going to move towards objects of mass. Your assumption is Earth is an object of mass and the apple has moved towards it. I describe something that does not do that, and it is not what's being tested, and you say it doesn't matter. That's an outrage. So, in other words, something that contradicts your presupposed belief that objects will move towards the ground because of a G constant is pissed in the face of by a balloon or a kettle.
Well,
Nathan, one question. I'm doing the first part of the scientific method, the observation, yes?
We asked what the phenomena was. You described things moving towards the ground, and then you gave an example of an apple. But that phenomena is contrary to the things that don't move towards the ground.
Nathan, it doesn't matter. You could do that with any phenomenon.
Why am I being interrupted? No one. What's your malfunction?
Because
me talking is painful for you? Yeah, his phenomena is things falling to the ground. That's not a decent phenomena because not all things fall towards the ground, Sam.
You can do that with any phenomenon.
No
Nathan.
one. Nobody was talking to you.
So I can't make a point?
Well, I was talking to Sam. You can wait.
So Nathan, the first part of the scientific method is the observation. The observation can be any event, problem, or phenomena. So where does it say?
We're gonna do this again with the problem shit,
things,
man.
Like if I see something fall down, I'm not allowed to see something fall up or rise up.
What the fuck?
Sorry, is this G a constant?
What?
Is it a constant that you're describing?
In the experiment, the hast.
So, in the experiment, G is actually a control then? It's just assumed to be there and it's held constant. Is that correct?
In this experiment, basically, wait. It was a measurement of G. They measured G. It is a G measurement with the time of swing method. Like, maybe read the paper if you're interested in it.
But the phenomena is all we're interested in. That's all we've got so far, and you've got things falling to the ground. That's not a phenomena when not all things fall to the ground.
Yes.
Why is it that I leave you completely open air, and when I talk, you constantly fundy mute me and mutter through me? What's your malfunction? My word's painful. You need your words over the top of my words because they're so painful. We've not got an observed phenomena here. Your assumption of things going down is incorrect because some things go up.
Why does it matter if things go up?
Because then it's not a constant down. So that's why it matters. Your assumption is invalid.
Where exactly in the scientific method does it say that this is not allowed?
No, just need a phenomena. That's all we're asking for, a phenomena. And your phenomena is an assumption that things like apples and pens, painful for you. Needs interrupting for a second time. Must be so painful coming here as a globe believer. To have a flat earther need interrupting continually when he simply points out that your phenomena is a claim of things going down. Pens and apples, according to you. I asked specifically you to give me an example. You did. Apples falling to the ground. Ignoring the fact that they're about to grow up towards the sky in the first place. What about the apple? Yeah? It had to go up first, didn't it? From the ground, from a seed, it went up. This apple example. Again, completely in defiance of this nonsense that you're trying to prove with an apparatus that doesn't seem to have a valid phenomena to study. Now, you don't have to like it.
No. Let's say something. Nathan, I'm not sure what we are talking about. I thought we were talking about...
We know, you're dumb as shit. You don't really know. You're the one here claiming it, yet you don't really know what's being said or what's being talked about. Yes, we know you're very stupid on the globe side. We know that you've come with basically a Cavendish experiment and then asserted that things go down. No, they don't. I've pissed in the face of your claim phenomena, and your contraption isn't utilising a phenomena, it's utilising a load of assumptions and balls in a shed and torsion bar twist.
It's generating the phenomena just like Cavendish within the apparatus.
Absolutely not. I see something falling down. It's a phenomena. It's...
Oh, really? What about the steam? You see that falling down? All right, that's just being ignored then. Not... Is it that my rebuttal's not important? Because when I pointed out the first time you said it wasn't important, now you're reasserting that things go down and you need to study it. So it's my rebuttal that's unimportant then, you bloody zealot.
Why does it matter?
Sorry, you zealot. You fundy fuck. I've given you a rebuttal. Not all things go down. You said it wasn't important. Yeah, it is. It's the end of your argument.
I need a phenomena.
Yeah, you do, and you haven't got one. Your assertion is things go down, they don't.
Citation.
Sorry, a phenomena is what you're going to be studying if you're doing an experiment, and you want me to give you a citation for that, dipshit? No, we know what we're studying. That's why you've offered a phenomena of things go down. Yeah? I don't need to suddenly cite what a phenomena is. You're already giving me one. It just isn't valid because some things go up. Your assertion is things go down and you're going to study from there. And when I say some things go up, you say it's not important. So you've lost. Shut up. End of your time.
Nathan.
Yes, no.
Can I make the point now?
Can I?
No one can go next. Go ahead, no one.
Okay, so you can do that with any phenomenon, Nathan.
What's the phenomenon
Let's
in this
say
instance?
I have, okay, my phenomenon is acorns grow into trees. Do you agree with that?
So we're studying why acorns will go up.
No, I said, do you agree that acorns will grow into trees?
I agree that from the ground, the acorn, which would be the seed, will blossom and grow upwards towards the sky. Yes, I agree.
Wow, really? Because I can show you thousands of acorns every fall that don't grow into trees. So that's wrong, Nathan.
Sorry, did I say that
Acorns
all
don't
acorns...
grow into
Sorry, are you denying that acorns make oak trees now?
Well, yeah, because I can show you...
Sorry, yeah?
Grow into a tree.
Yeah, you deny that those
that
trees have come from acorns.
phenomenon.
Sorry, this is the most crap semantic argument I have ever heard.
I agree.
Well, then shut up. You've always got this semantic argument about the fact that not all acorns turn into trees. You're basically
but
useless here.
all oak trees come from acorns, though.
Yeah, that's true. Useless. Is that what you wanted to interrupt?
Acorns, bro. Is this what you got? Acorns? Because I'm using your own logic that you used against Sam. Are you trying to prove something, or
Sam
are we just going to talk
said-
about acorns?
Sorry, you're using my
Sam
logic
never said
against Sam.
Sam never said all objects fall to the ground, did he?
Oh, so what's the phenomena being studied then, in that case? No, Sam, see
My
what you want
phenomena
to pipe up.
that-
Sam, you've had your chance. Shut up. Talking about you, not to you. Sam, shut up. No one. Okay, no problem. So, as I asked Sam, is the phenomena being studied that some items go up, some go down? Is that the phenomena we're studying when we're trying to establish gravity?
Sure. You could use both. You don't have to. You could use one or the other, too.
Oh, I see. That's a phenomena, is it?
Yeah.
And how's that studied? And what's the cause of that phenomena?
Well, that's what the experiment is trying to discover, so why don't you let him finish?
Oh, excellent. So, the asserted cause is gravity. Do they vary and manipulate?
No.
My bad. Difficult to talk to me. Difficult not to listen, eh?
Could you let me...
You could shut up,
Is
Sam.
it
You've had your
experiment?
chance, Sam. You could shut your mouth while I talk to this other guy. Maybe make it even more difficult while he talks through everything I say. Because I know it's painful. So the phenomena being studied is some things go up. That's up. And some things go down. That's the phenomena. Okay. And the asserted cause is gravity. So in this experiment, the DV is some things go up, some things go down. And the varied cause of it is gravity. So they vary gravity in this experiment, do they, no one?
No, everything that you said...
Last chance, Sam. I'm
Everything
going to
that you
mute you
said
permanently.
after-
Hold on a second, no one. Sam, last chance. Shut your stupid mouth, or I will permanently shut it. No one. Is the presumed cause, gravity, being varied in this horse shit with balls in a shed, or not?
No, everything you said...
No. Sorry, we're not proving gravity then as the cause of some things go up, some things go down. It's not being varied to prove it as the cause.
You don't assume a...
Sorry, we're not varying that as the cause of the effect then. Hello? I asked for scientific evidence of gravity. We've got to the stage with you, no one, where we've established some things go up, some things go down. And what's the cause? Is it being varied and is it gravity? No. Well, then this is an experiment that proves gravity then, no one.
You don't assume the cause before you know the cause, Nathan.
Right, you have to assume the cause to then vary it and validate it, you stupid muppet.
What's a hypothesis? Are you kidding?
What's a hypothesis?
You know what a hypothesis is, bro?
It's a supposition of cause. Supposition of cause, mate. So at some point, you've got to go, oh, I wonder if it's this. You don't know. You assume it. You assume it's going to cause it until you vary it and see if it does. And in this example, some things go up, some things go down. Not good news as a phenomena if you're trying to claim that things go down, go boom, boom with gravity. But there we go. That's what you're saying. And apparently the thing being varied to cause it isn't gravity. So this is useless as a scientific evidence of gravity then, no one.
No, it's not. You don't have to vary the cause. The cause can be the independent variable.
That's what the independent variable is, you stupid idiot. That is the cause.
You know what an independent...
Sorry, that is the cause. That's what an independent variable is. Hello?
Yeah. And you can...
So we don't have to vary it to know it's the cause. You just need the independent variable, which is the cause. You complete idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a stupid idiot. No one. Why are you even involving yourself in this conversation?
I'm trying to teach you how to do...
Teach me, you arrogant little shit. You've just told me we don't need to establish cause. We just need an independent variable, which is the cause, you stupid dick. Yet you think you've got the right to educate me, you complete clown.
I didn't say...
How dare you tell me you're here to teach me anything? Teach me how you be silent.
Share your pain, Nathan.
Misquoting me.
Sorry, you've just told me that you don't need to establish cause, you just need an independent variable, which is the cause, you complete muppet idiot. We've also established through this nonsense little diatribe, yeah, that we haven't got the cause being gravity in this shite that Sam presented, that you thought so keenly to interrupt. Then ask me if all acorns become trees. Stupid idiot.
Yeah, keep funding muting me.
Muty. Come on, boys, girls, and children, grow up.
So I didn't actually say you don't need to...
Can you grow up, please? Can you grow up? Can you grow up?
You don't need to assume a cause.
That's what an independent variable is. That's what a hypothesis is. The assumption of cause. My God, you're going to say it again? Maybe tell me that you're going to teach me again, you stupid idiot. That's what a hypothesis is.
You'll let me.
Hello? That's what a hypothesis is.
Yeah.
What do you mean no? With your little fading voice, you pathetic little moron. No. Yes, moron. I'll teach you, you stupid globe-believing fundy moron. A hypothesis is a supposition of cause, you complete globe-believing moron. How's it taste? How's it taste to be spoken down to and educated by a flat earther? How's it taste, the one, you stupid retard? I'm the one teaching you. Let's get it clear what's going on here. I'm teaching you what science is. You're here thinking you can teach me and interrupt and justify the shite that Sam came up with. How's it taste?
Are you done funding muting me?
Are you having a laugh? Funding muting you? I'm berating you for your abject stupidity. You haven't got the slightest idea what science is. Yet you think you can come here to, quote, teach me? You complete prick. You're thick as all shit and you think you can come here and teach us? No. You don't know what a dependent variable is. You don't know what an independent variable is, but you've got the gall to suggest you're teaching us. No, thicko. Is that all you got? Fundy muting me? Is that the best you've got? You thick shit. Talking to you, the one, you thicko.
You done now?
Done telling you how wrong you are when you tell me that a supposition of cause isn't required in a hypothesis? That it's not assuming cause, you stupid retard. That's exactly what it is, you stupid dick. That's what globe believers are, like this dick who thinks he's now going to interrupt me while I berate him for the third time. No, mate, I will berate you for your stupidity. You will not talk through me while I talk down to you for your stupidity.
I mean, bro.
You done now?
May I make a point?
How can you manipulate the cause if you are the cause?
Sorry, White Knights from the globe side. I still haven't heard from the one how he feels to have been educated by me when he had the arrogance to suggest he was the one teaching us. Wrong. Now, all you little dick White Knights can sit down. Go ahead, the one. Tell us how it feels.
Yeah. Every time I try to talk, you talk over me, so that's why.
No, every time I explain how fucking wrong you are, you start talking through me and then claim I'm fundy muting you, stupid dick.
I haven't said a word while you've been talking, Nathan.
How's it taste? Told me that no, you don't need cause when formulating hypothesis. Yeah, you do. That's exactly
Not
what it
I
is.
said.
Yeah, it's recorded. We're live, dick brain. Maybe deny it.
Take it back and listen.
Deny it. Deny that that's what you've just said for us, so I can call you a liar as well. Don't chuckle at him. Let him deny it, so I can call him a liar as well. Deny that you've just said you don't need to assume cause when formulating hypothesis. That's IVDV relationships, cause and effect. Tell me you didn't claim that, so I can call you a liar, and then tell you off again and correct you again.
You got it right.
I'm the one
that
teaching
time.
you.
A
Is
second
that you
ago,
not
I said I
talking
didn't
through me,
say that. You
dipshit?
had it
Is
right.
that you not talking through me, dipshit? Yeah. I am requesting you deny that you've claimed you don't need to suppose cause when formulating hypothesis because you're thick. So do you want to deny it so I can call you a liar and then berate you for your stupidity and incorrect assertions about hypotheses, that's science, predictions of cause and effect? Then I'll berate you and correct you again. That'll be me, the flat earther, correcting you, the dumb shit globe believer who hasn't got the slightest idea what science is. Go ahead, the one. Deny it for me so I can call you a liar.
When you say go ahead, do you mean start talking, or do you mean don't talk so I can keep?
I mean, do what the fuck I tell you to do, because I'm the one in a position of power. You're the dumb shit getting told off by a flat earther. So when I say go, you go. Go.
Well, you said go ahead, and then
go.
You started
Yeah, that's
talking.
right. Go.
So
go like a performing monkey for me.
Yeah. When I said that's not what I said, you had misquoted me.
It's recorded, dipshit. We are live, dipshit.
Yeah, I know.
So deny it.
When I said that's not what I said,
what did you say?
I said I don't need
What did you say? What did you say?
I never said that.
What did you say?
You don't have to assume your cause.
That's what a hypothesis is! Oh my god, he is thick as shit! You are thick as shit, mate! That's what a hypothesis is!
Bro, you don't remember saying that and then me asking you directly after that, what's a hypothesis? You don't remember that? That was like 10 minutes ago.
Keep it up, the one. I'm really enjoying telling you off, berating you and correcting you, as is Chocolate. We're really enjoying telling you off. We're enjoying the globe-believing dick telling us that suppositions of cause aren't hypothesis, and then denying it, and then repeating it 3 times in a row. That's how thick you are.
I never said suppositions of cause aren't hypotheses.
Said you don't have to presume a cause.
No. Keep misquoting me, Nathan.
But you said you don't have to presume a cause.
You don't.
What do you think a supposition is?
Let's try it again.
So
what's
if
a
I
hypothesis?
say you don't
what's a hypothesis,
have to do
one?
that for it
What's
to be
a hypothesis? Chocolate's asking you a question.
Does that mean a hypothesis isn't that?
Look, I'm done with you. You are stupid. Not only are you stupid, you're arrogant. You still think you're right.
Okay. No, I don't think I'm right. I know I'm right.
Oh, really?
Nah, you're looking real bad right now, bro. You don't even know what a fucking hypothesis is. You don't know you need to manipulate an independent variable, and you came here with this crap? Are you serious? And Ed, you in the back, you don't know any better, bro. What's wrong with you?
You ask it in the form of a rap.
Go on, White Knight. Ed, you've successfully bailed him out.
Let me throw him back in. This is 106 years out of date, Nathan. The conclusion. Our laboratory is focused on measuring the Newtonian gravitational constant. They're measuring the wrong thing.
Bummer, Sam.
106 years. Too late.
Bad date. Oh, dear. Maybe Ed can explain. Why are we arguing about something that's 106 years out of date? My God.
Because it's still perfectly useful.
Useful? It's out of date, totally superseded by Einstein. We no longer have this concept of mass attracting mass. Do you know why? Because it's debunked by a helium balloon.
Nathan, supersession doesn't equal debunked. You know that, right?
Oh, right. So in that case, if it's not debunked, no worries. No worries. You want to give me the Einsteinian maths for the moon attracting Earth? Hello? Newtonian mass attracting mass. Earth and moon claim to be in orbit. One's supposed to be pulling tides off the other. Do you want to give me the Einsteinian mathematics for that?
The Einsteinian mathematics. So you may do that over voice text?
Sorry, I want you to demonstrate that you have an understanding of Einstein's mathematics and its limitations in this regard. We'll see if you've got that sort of knowledge to your fingertips. Why would it be that I would ask...
Newton's mathematics and its limitations?
Yeah, go ahead, with your high-pitched.
Not Einstein's?
Sorry, why is it that you're using an upward inflection in everything you say? It sounds like you don't have the slightest clue what you're on about. So why would it be that I would be asking about something that involves mass attracting mass? Specifically, your fundy belief in Earth as a sphere attracting the oceans from a sphere-shaped Earth with a sphere-shaped moon, and them as masses attracting one another. Why would it be that I'd ask for Einsteinian's maths? Why would it be that way? Why would I ask that question? Now, it's either the case that you know why I'm asking, and you'll give me an answer, or you don't, and you'll fish around with your high-pitched upward inflections.
So you want Einstein's math over a voice call?
But for mass attracting mass, is that a possibility then? Is that something you could give me over voice text or in any format? You could give me this mass attracting mass with Einstein's field equations. You could do that, could you? If challenged. You know, if you could do that.
Not over voice text, no.
Not over voice text. Is it possible at all to do that?
Sure.
Sure? Really? So are you unaware that Einstein's maths only works for one mass? Were you unaware of that? Hello, clown show fuckwit globe believing retard who doesn't know about Einstein. Were you unaware, you fucking clown show fuckwit retard, that we can only calculate for one mass with Einstein? Were you unaware of that? I'll take your silence to be the ignorant fuckwit reply I need to know damn well you don't know that. You stupid retard.
Are you unaware?
Yeah, I'm still berating you. Yeah,
to...
don't fundy mute me when I'm pointing out how fucking retarded you are. There's no need to fundy mute that beration of a globe-believing retard who doesn't understand his own gravity that he's here claiming, and yet the flat earther knows enough about it to absolutely humiliate you. You think that needs fundy muting the one? This painful beration from me about your total lack of understanding about single masses being used with Einstein. You think you need to talk through that, do you, dipshit? I take it you didn't know.
Are you unaware that you...
Were you unaware of that Einsteinian problem, my friend? Yeah, you absolutely were unaware of it. Me, as the more educated, less ignorant flat earther, I knew all about that, though, didn't I, the one? Enough to humiliate you in front of a live audience. But yet you still seem to think you need to interrupt me while I'm telling you this. Go on mute, dipshit. The one, thicko, with his mic wide open. Hello, retard with your mic open. Go on mute, you stupid spastic. You don't know about Einstein, you don't know about science. We're having to teach, quote, teach you, you stupid moron. Yeah, that's it. Well done. You found the mute button, did you, thicko? Yeah, so you didn't understand this little Einsteinian problem. No need to fundy mute me, dick brain. Just stick yourself on mute and let me tell you off. You sit there in silence while the flat earther corrects you about your lack of understanding when it comes to Einsteinian mathematics and the fact that it has absolutely unequivocally superseded this 106-year out of date mass attracting mass concept that isn't even calculable in Einstein's maths. So no, dipshit. Not still useful, totally superseded. Okay? Now sit down. Why are you off mute again, retard? Do I understand simple instructions? When I talk, go on mute, stupid idiot. Do I understand simple instructions?
Are you finished?
You are finished,
out of
man.
my show. Am I finished,
speak?
you arrogant prick? Am I finished? You fucking are. Get out. Am I finished? What, telling you off? when you tell me that these two things are compatible? Well, superseded doesn't mean it's not useful anymore. Oh, really? Well, so show me the use of it when you can't even calculate it in the up-to-date maths of Einstein. Can't even be done. Am I done? No, you are, dickhead. Right, which white knight wants it next?
Are you having a bad day?
Bad day, I've got fundies. That's what I've got. I've got you, Ed, a fundy.
You need help, Nathan.
Is this the best you've got? What about Einstein calculating mass attracting mass? Is that what you got? Bad day, Nathan?
Is this the best you've got?
Sorry, is this your play bad day?
Nathan, the problem started at the observation, the easiest part of a scientific experiment, of the scientific method.
Is your name Ed?
We couldn't.
Is your name Ed?
Oh.
Is your name Ed?
Identify.
Is your name Ed, retard? Don't know your own name, Sam. Shut up. Did you not understand? I'm talking to Ed. You don't need to white knight and back him up. Ed, why can't we attract mass and then do the maths for it in Einstein's maths? Why can't we do that?
I don't care why you can do it.
It's not me doing it, dipshit. You're the globe-believing fundy that thinks Einstein's maths is real. Not me, you stupid dick. It's your maths, idiot.
So, math.
So why can't we do mass attracting mass with Einstein's maths? Why do the field equations find it impossible to do this simple concept you all think is real? Even though it's 106 years out of date, as pointed out. Why can't it be done, Ed?
Because you don't understand it.
You useless twat. Get out of my show, you useless prick.
Yeah. Because he is nothing than troll. He's not saying anything.
White knighting while I'm trying to discuss the thing with Samurai. Second he gets actually mic control. I don't understand it. It's a rebuttal. What a useless twat.
One final point on the evidence that was brought to the table. I did mention it measures a Newtonian gravitational constant with the time of swing method by using precision torsion pendulums. I've been to the references. Number one reference, Cavendish, H, 1798. That's its whole purpose. It's just a rejig. It's no longer balls in a shed. It's balls in a tin.
Balls in a tin?
Yeah. I'll show you the picture of the balls in the tin. If you
Is that a tension?
A tin chin. Balls in a tin chin. There you go. There's the tin. There's the balls.
What joke. I'm going to read out a few super chats.
I want to address the point that's...
You can.
I just wanted to address the point that was made about Newtonian mathematics still being useful. Now, these guys don't seem to understand. We're not interested in whether it's useful or not. We're asking the question of what is the nature of our reality. So since it's been superseded in that context, then it's not a point that they can use. We're trying to understand the nature of reality. And in that context, it's been superseded. So that's the point that needs to be remembered. We're trying to understand the nature of reality, not what works, what's close enough.
Right, couple of quick shout outs. So Godzilla37 says, can we get one of their parents in here? Question mark. These Globe fanboys are tiring and useless. I totally agree. You don't understand. That's the best rebuttal. My God. What is cause on the end, says Unitox Femu. And also, Nathan, give Ed 5 minutes of time to speak live. His all family watching show. You don't want to be disappointed. Ed, say something intelligent. No, he didn't. Thank you for the super chat, though.
His poor family.
Any more on gravity?
No, I think you covered it in a nutshell.
I just think you know the scientific method, and you say, "Oh, well, I don't need to assume a cause," and I don't need to manipulate such cause that I don't need to assume. Oh man, you guys are in pain out there. I feel it.
The thing that pisses me off
Hard for you.
is the arrogance level. You know, he's here thinking, I'm going to teach you guys what's what. He's got the most limited understanding of the topics he's discussing. So why would it be the case that we'd want to be taught by this clown? But yeah, he's got the gall to tell us, I'm here to teach you. No, we're correcting you. And your incorrect assertions, you're making everyone around you more dumb.
And his goal was to help out his man. That didn't work out too well.
It's presuming that we don't know.
Yeah, the arrogance is off the scale.
He came in and said the independent variable and didn't even know what he was talking about.
They know what their objective is. Their objective is to tell us what's what. Because they couldn't be possibly in the wrong.
No, we couldn't possibly be in the right.
I'm still waiting for a good explanation from a Globe supporter. Says, incredibly cherry. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't think I've ever seen you chatting before. So, thank you very much. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Acorns.
Acorns?
Oh my gosh. Well, might as well, based on the last one.
That bit is ignored though, isn't it? When they talk about the apple falling from the tree. Well, how the hell did it get up there? Well, it spent a significant period of time creeping ever upwards. Let's just ignore that. We'll start with trees in existence with apples on them. They just appeared from nowhere with everything in disequilibrium. It's amazing. Like, hold on, how did it get to be in disequilibrium? Well, it had to grow upwards.
Can I say something regarding the trees?
Yes, go ahead.
So, you're claiming that with the trees cannot grow up because of gravity.
Not my claim.
That's your claim.
That's not my claim. I'm just pointing out that trees grow up before they get to the point where the apple's going to fall because it's in disequilibrium. Prior to that, there's a whole process of things that take it upwards. That's a fact.
And I may have misunderstood you, but are you trying to debunk gravity with that phenomenon?
Now, I'm pointing out that when an example comes our way that starts with an apple that's in disequilibrium, it had to grow up first to get there. It didn't just start in disequilibrium. Likewise, if you pick up a pen and drop it, you've got to pick up the pen.
Okay, but sorry, but are you just pointing it out, or do you want to lead to something?
Maybe you want to make a claim. What's your claim?
I just wanted to know because I didn't understand it very well. So yeah, that's it. Maybe if you want it, I can make a claim now and then discuss it if you want. But yeah,
please, that'd be great. Yes, please.
Okay. I think I asked you this yesterday, maybe. But in the flat Earth model, the sun is close to us, and it describes a movement that is circular around circumnavigating the plane.
So is that your claim?
Yeah, now it comes. So velocity as a vectorial magnitude, it's described by two vectors. Well, if it's in 2 dimensions, which is this kind of movement, is described by an I vector and an X vector. Then, that both are forces that they sum, and then you get the direction and speed of the object.
What's its speed?
Well, speed is the space that an object trajects in a period of time. We get that velocity by summing a velocity vector in the x-axis and another vector in the y-axis. So we get any kind of velocity described by that object.
Okay, how'd you get its distance?
The distance of what?
Sun. The sun.
What? I didn't listen you well.
How'd you get the distance?
The distance? What distance?
You having me on? To the sun.
Can I just ask? I think to be fair, Nathan's asking the question, but if I could rephrase it, if we're going to calculate velocity, and we can certainly time the sun from position A to position B to calculate the time, but how do we calculate the distance it's traveled in that time to then calculate the velocity? Did you not understand, or do I need to repeat?
Am I missing? What am I missing here?
You're missing a claim.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
We appear to be making some leaps after we've made the assumption that we can calculate the velocity of the sun in its path above us. And
Well, what do you expect?
Nathan's asked, and I've asked, how do we determine the distance that the sun has travelled so that we can then calculate that velocity? We can describe it angularly, can't we? But
You're helping him a bit there.
Yeah, sorry.
Coppo flakes. Do you have an answer? Don't be shy. No, we can't hear anything from him. Someone else in Discord say something just so I know that it's not my Discord server that's gone silent.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, Nathan.
No, it's just silent from him, right?
Yeah, we can't hear him.
What we have here.
Indeed, yeah, failure to communicate.
Yes, what we have here is a failure to communicate.
That was the end of the argument anyway.
Well, what's happening is this is what it's resorted to for ballers. They have to change science. They have to change how experiments are done. They have to change names of supposed experiments called Cavendish to some other nonsense, which is really Cavendish. Listen, Black Swan could do that to you.
For me, it's both things that have been brought to the table today just show the lack of reading these people put in. It took me, 5 minutes reading for the first citation paper to see it as Cavendish, and then this one, the gent's just stunned into silence as he realises the huge assumption he's made before he even started his postulations. He's made one huge assumption that he can't back up, which is foundational to everything he's about to then say. It's odd.
Neil, are you saying this is the black swan effect? Like this is what happens to them once they realize the loss of their geometric horizon and their spinning ball. They just fall into nothingness. Poor guys, man.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
No, because in order to have pressure, you need containment.
Without the balloon, there can be no pressure? Seem to remember somebody saying that.
Without a skull, you can't have a headache.
We're not without an acorn, you can't have an oak tree.
You gotta be nuts, Adam.
Nathan, a couple of flakes is trying to join. Can you help somehow on your side?
Say that again.
A couple of flakes is trying to join in. Seems like he's having difficulties to join the group.
I think he's been having technical difficulties.
Yeah, there's something twitchy with.
But he's back in.
Something twitchy with Discord, but Righteous Force is working on it. Apparently, I've just sent him a message. That's why I went a bit quiet. Hopefully, it'll be resolved by tomorrow. I haven't got that much long left on the live show anyway. So, any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? Shout out to M for the super chat, by the way. Thank you very much.
No.
Am I allowed to presuppose the Earth is spherical and then just talk about the molten iron core?
No, we'd like evidence of it. You hear noise from can. That's matter screaming. That's what Unitox Femu says from the chat. I don't understand what that means, Sasha. Maybe you can explain that.
Well, there was another problem with gravity, and it kind of ties back to the Black Swan, because in their equation for it, they got M1 and M2, and they say the center of M1 is drawn to the center of M2. Well, if you don't have a geometric horizon, how are you getting an R value to get the center of M2?
Good point. I hadn't thought of that. That's good. Sorry, Sasha. Did you want to explain your super chat?
I don't know word for container. Somebody was explaining something like a can, and or no, it's not can. It's the stuff when you can. I don't know in English, when you can tap like a coffee, you know, thing. Thermo stuff. How you call?
I've got you. Where instead of a shed, it's in a can. That's what you're talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
I've got you.
Yeah, and guy said if you put that near to your ear, you can hear the sound
of matter screaming. That took some explanation, but it was worth it.
It was like gas escaping, you know, to the container. And that was his explanation. And I said, and because the QE said something about matter, they was speaking about matter and mass. And then I was sarcastic, and I said that doesn't matter.
Hear the sea. In the air next to her. Yeah.
With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Stream, however, stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Level with you now.
Oh, no one told me. No wonder I keep coming. The
Yeah.
last 2 days, I came on at an off time.
Yeah, we're back to normal.
Well, there's that time dilation.
Yeah, the clock's changed. Is that why we're not seeing you in the morning?
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, why am I late? What's going on here?
Makes sense.
We want to know, Nathan, did you catch Tam's pun at the end there?
His pun? No, I didn't.
Oh.
Just as I was about to do the outro, my youngest burst in the door. So I immediately just muted the line and called my wife, and I'm like, I'm just about to do my outro. So obviously there's a bit of dead air, and then I can't really pay attention to what's being said because everything's... Yeah. You want to repeat it?
Well, Adam...
I just said, yeah. The way they go, generally, that's the sound of the sea.
Sound of the
Well,
sea.
he said, my mom told me that when I put a shell to my ear, I could hear the sound of the sea. And I said, because that's the wavelength.
Oh, boom, boom.
Oh, you see,
Very good.
So I came in late, obviously, for the time change reason, but I caught the guy on the gravity argument halfway or maybe even further down the road. So they did a Cavendish in a can now, and they were saying was different than the shed. Is that what I'm understanding?
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's just littered with...
So again, nothing naturally observable. It's just they're doing it within the apparatus again.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I said that on the show, that fundamentally it is just like Cavendish in that the phenomena is being conjured in the experiment, which is rate of change of pendulum swing based upon closeness of balls.
Yeah, I saw you citing that as you read whatever document you were reading, obviously the one they were using, and it was the first citation. It's incredible.
My first,
Well, a lot of their premise is still on the fact that they can't define mass. I've heard him give that little demonstration thing before, and it's that they don't know what mass is. So why can they say mass attracts mass if they can't define their terms?
Well, they can define it. They just don't want to because it's an ambiguous term that they're going to reify in mathematics, and that's what that needs to be
Purposely
real.
ambiguous. Yeah.
It's not ambiguous at all.
Well, where do we see torsion bars in nature? Rumpus?
Don't.
Who cares? Doesn't make a difference. It's just
Who
a
cares?
measuring
Who
the
cares?
Let me finish my sentence. It doesn't matter. It's just a means of measuring. If we had another means of measuring the force, we'd use that. It just so happens.
Well, genuine question for you,
that
Rumpus.
just so
if you've got a
happens.
second.
It just so happens that is a very sensitive force measuring device. So that's why it's used. Doesn't matter whether it's in nature or not. It's just a piece of instrumentation to measure a force. You moron.
Force measuring device? What force?
Gravitational force, moron.
Gravity is not a force.
Gravity is not a force, though. Moron.
George Musa. He also said, literally...
You're behind by 2 or 3 years. You
Scared
haven't
of George
understood what the
Musa.
does.
Scared of George Musa's quotes?
Oh, no, I love George Musa's quotes.
Excellent. Literally, it is not a force. George Musa.
And he's referring to the other gravity.
Literally, it's not a force, George Musa. He's referring to a different gravity. No, gravity, quote, gravity is not a force, end quote, George Musa. New quote, literally, when contradicted like you're contradicting me, it was Craig contradicting him, he said, no, literally, it's not a force.
And he then said later it was a force.
What was the quote?
He said you have to treat it as a force.
Sorry, that's treating something. I can treat my Lexus like a Lamborghini, can't I? I can polish it like it's a Lamborghini, but it's not a Lamborghini. And likewise, gravity, quote George Musa, is not a force, end quote. Literally, it's not a force.
He was talking about the 4D world, Nathan. He wasn't talking about...
We don't live in a 4D world, so who gives a shit?
There is. We've got proof of it.
We don't live in a 4D world. Time's just a concept.
He was talking about the bending.
We don't live in a 4D world. Maybe just ignore it. Not important. Maybe just hand wave it. Maybe move on. Don't live in a 4D world.
A 4D world.
Don't live in one. Maybe ignore it.
But that's a projection.
Scared? Scared that we don't live in this mathematical world you're using?
The 3D.
Scared that we don't live in this mathematical world?
My sentence.
Scared of it?
You know you're scared of my sentence.
I'm asking if you're scared of me pointing out that we don't live in this reified 4D mathematical world.
No, we live in the 3D world.
So we don't live in that world then. Thanks, Rumpus. So we couldn't give, what are the words, a flying fuck about your reified 4D maths that we don't live in.
You don't understand it.
Don't understand it. We don't live in it, so I don't care. Not important, mate.
Well, we do affect.
Not important, mate. We don't live in it.
We live in a.
Not important. We don't live in it. Not important.
It works.
We're realists. Flat earthers deal with the physical and natural world, the world we experience. And this 4D mathematical reified world is not important.
Well, it is, because it's...
No, it's not. We're not living in it. Don't you get it, Thicko? You fantasist. You go away and talk about your fantasy maths world that we don't live in.
Well,
not important.
Mercury.
Not important, mate. We don't live in a 4D world. Do you want to continue talking about it? Because we don't live in it. It's not important.
Yeah. We do live in a projection of it. The 3D world.
A projection of a world that doesn't exist, you bloody fantasist.
Exist. Oh, it does exist.
So now 4D worlds exist, do they, you double-speaking clown?
Absolutely exists.
No, 4D worlds don't exist. Time's just a concept. It's just maths. It's just geometry.
What's geometry? I missed that. You interrupted me.
Right, we don't live in a 4D world. Who cares?
We live in the consequences of there being a 4D world out there.
A consequence of a world that doesn't exist. Now, I don't live under the impression that I live with consequences of Narnia. Narnia doesn't affect the real world. It's not real.
But we can test the 4D world.
Sorry, can we test if Narnia will affect the real world?
We can test the 4D world and...
Can we test if Narnia will affect us?
You can, and you find it won't.
So we will find that Narnia affects the real world. Because 4D space-time is like Narnia. It doesn't exist.
Why are you strawmanning me with...
Why am I strawmanning you? You're telling us that a world that doesn't exist affects a world that does. Wrong.
Exist. It does exist, and we can test...
No, it doesn't. 4D doesn't exist. That's not a world we live in. We've already established that. Why would you double down on this that you've already conceded? You double-speaking fundy.
And we can detect it in the behaviour...
Sorry, we can detect this world that doesn't exist. No, we can't. It doesn't exist.
There are 10 experimental proofs that it exists.
Sorry, so you're now saying we do live in a 4D world?
No, we live in a 3D...
No! So we're detecting that it exists, but we don't live in it. That sounds like double-speak nonsense to me, my friend.
You're stupid. You don't understand.
Oh, it's me being stupid. I understand that we don't live in a 4D world. It doesn't exist. But yet you're saying it does exist. We've got experimental data for a world that doesn't exist. No, this is just nonsense, Rumpus.
Well, it's our senses can't detect the 4D world. We can't move around
how do we
in time.
detect a world that we don't live in?
Sorry, our senses don't detect it. So it's non-physical. Non-physical, then.
Experimental proof.
Non-physical. You're scared of me pointing out that if we can't detect it with our senses, then it's not in existence, it's not real, because it's a reified mathematical construct.
It exists, and we can test it with
So it doesn't exist. We've already established we don't live in a 4D world. We're not proving gravity either, because that's not a force.
Yeah, but we move around in 3D.
It's not proving gravity. This 4D world that don't exist. That's not a force either.
Projection of the 4D world.
No, it's not a projection of a force either. Quote, George Musa. Literally, it's not a force. End quote, George Musa.
I appreciate you don't have the intellect to understand this.
Oh, I don't intellectually understand a quote from George Musa. Quote, gravity is not a force, end quote. Then he was challenged by Craig, the dumb shit that thinks it is. And he said, no, literally, it's not a force.
In the 4D world, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't live in a 4D world, so who gives a shit?
Because there are some aspects of the 4D world that do affect our 3D world.
Sorry, a world that doesn't exist isn't going to affect a world that does. Narnia doesn't affect the real world, you complete clown.
Do you have a world detecting meter? Or so? How do you detect the fucking 4D world, Rumpus? Where is that? How do we get there? How do we detect it?
Okay, I'm about to tell you. Right, so for a start, if we use just the Newtonian methods of determining the orbit of Mercury.
That's 3D world. You're asking you about Newtonian, you stupid idiot. We're asking you about 4D Einsteinian, where we detect it. Don't go into immediately describing Newtonian mechanics. What kind of a clown doesn't understand the question he's asked? Do you want to repeat it, Chocolate? He's too thick, doesn't understand the question.
Yeah, how do we detect this 4D world that you say we don't live in?
I'm trying to tell you, but you're interrupting me. I'm trying to tell you exactly that.
Let me correct you, because you're thick. You're obviously a retard. And when asked about how we detect the 4D world, you described the Mercury orbit in a Newtonian world. No, my friend, that's been superseded 106 years ago. You're being asked about 4D space-time. Why would you start detailing the orbit of Mercury in Newtonian maths? That's just stupid. You've clearly not understood the question. You're clearly stupid.
Dating channel, but it's not. It's just a you ranting and being a rude twat channel.
Oh, my bad. Is it rude to point out that when asking for 4D proof, you start detailing 3D proof? Is that rude of me?
Either a rude twat.
Very rude to point out that when asking for 4D to be proven, you start detailing 3D. I point out that's what we're asking for. That's rude of me. What a coward.
I'm trying to answer the 10th man's question.
About 4D by detailing 3D? Nah, that's not going to fly. The host's going to point that out. Maybe that's rude.
Is
rude your rebuttal?
I know you don't want me.
Is rude your rebuttal?
You don't want me to answer.
Is that your rebuttal?
I know you're frightened of my answer.
Yeah, now it's time for non-stop fundy muting. I'm asking if being rude is your rebuttal when pointing out that you're about to detail Newtonian mechanics when asked for 4D space-time mechanics.
Wait that, Nathan. I appreciate you don't understand that.
No, you don't understand the question being asked of you. You're asked to prove the proof of a 4D world that doesn't exist, and you started detailing Mercury orbits with 3D mechanics.
You keep on interrupting me. I'm not being allowed to answer. Right.
Is that your rebuttal? That's all you've got now. I'm being interrupted all the time because you can't. This is the end then. Is this the end of your time here then?
You don't want me to provide the proof, do you? You're scared of the proof that I'm trying to give you. So in the 3D world, you see...
In the 3D world, you're being asked about the 4D world, you complete clown. Are you thick? Don't you understand that being asked for proof of 4D worlds? Why would you immediately start with, I'm going to detail a 3D world in Newtonian mechanics, when asked for 4D worlds of pseudo space-time? You don't seem to understand the question. Maybe tell me that I'm being rude.
What are you talking about? You don't understand the...
I don't understand what the difference between your request for 4D proof starts with a detailed explanation of Mercury orbits in Newtonian mechanics. Yeah, I do understand. It's not rude to point out that that's not what you're being asked for. You're just too stupid to understand the question.
I'm about to give, because you can't cope with letting me have an answer. Right. So we've demonstrated that Mercury does not follow Newtonian mechanics, but it does follow the mechanics of Einstein's field equations, which are slightly different in extreme circumstances. Like,
we don't live in a 4D world. Why would you tell us that it does work in a world that we don't live in?
Well, we live in a projection of the 4D.
Sorry, we don't live in the world that this mechanics for Mercury's of orbits like anybody cares or asked isn't a world we live in. So you can account for the Mercury of orbit in a world we don't live in. Wowee!
We do. We can't move around in it in the same way as the 4D world and the 3D world.
Yeah, we don't live in it. So if we can't move around in it, but yet you're describing how bloody Mercury moves around in it, that's nonsense. Because we don't live in that world that you're describing how Mercury moves. We don't live there.
3D in the dimensional things. We can't move around in the time element, only the spatial dimensions. We can't move around in the time dimensional.
Well, that's one of the dimensions of 4D space-time, Clown Show.
Yeah, we can't move.
Yeah, and we haven't got it. We can't move in it. It's a concept. We know that's our argument, you stupid idiot.
Got experimental proof of its existence.
What, of the world that doesn't exist? You've got experimental proof of the existence that a world that doesn't exist, you double-speaking clown.
It does exist.
He said it's undetectable.
Undetectable doesn't exist, only exists in a concept, can't experience 4D space-time. He's now using that as an argument against us. Like, that's going to fly.
It's
undetectable, but he
can
knows how
prove
it works.
It's detectable, and you can prove it. And someone
prove that a world that doesn't exist exists.
It does exist.
Well, how do we move
Just
around?
Because you can't move around in all its dimensions doesn't mean to say it doesn't exist.
Well,
that's like saying, Nathan, because you see in two.
So we can't move around in it. I don't need an analogy that involves me, so you can attack me personally. Fuck you, you stupid, dumb little clown that's being humiliated daily by flat earthers, and you come here like a pathetic, absolute masochist to get it daily. So no, you clown, you're not going to get to sit and interrupt me and tell me your analogy that describes 3D and 4D juxtapositions. No.
Yeah, I mean, it claims it's a debate channel, yet actually there's no debating on. It's just him ranting and raving at people with his exposing his idiocy. I think we're
You're the
unmuted.
fool, Rumpus. You're the fool. You said it's undetectable, but somehow you're telling us you detected it.
Where did I say that, you utter moron? I said it is detectable.
At the
You
beginning,
twat.
you said
Okay, fine.
Detectable.
So you
It
can't
is
move around in it.
detectable,
So you can't.
It is detectable, you twat. It
So you
is
can't move around in
detectable,
it.
you twat.
So you can't move around in it.
You can move in the spatial part of the dimension.
Describing the movement. Is he describing the movement of something in the world where you can't see the movement of something?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you can do it with magic.
That's pathetic.
You can see the movement, and it is detectable, you twat.
Ed, do you know about this 4D
I said
world that
detectable several
Rumpus
times,
is talking
you
about?
came up with the thing, oh, it's undetectable. I said it was detectable. I said it was detectable.
How do we detect
you
it?
didn't-
Do you have like a meter on you that,
Right.
that detects 4D worlds?
And I've been trying to
How do you do
answer that
that?
very question, but Nathan keeps interrupting me. So we
Where's the
know
watch?
that this. So let's try listening. So there are several elements of 4D space that impose themselves in their 4D characteristics that are different from just a 3D way of looking at things, and those include the orbit of Mercury. They include the bending of light. They include the fact that we have gravity waves. They include time dilation due to gravity. So, for instance, we know if you go, for instance, GPS is dependent on allowing for the 4D world because of the timed atomic clocks as they're in space going around us are dependent on the 4D field equations. So we've got ways of detecting the presence of this 4D world. And there are other ways as well. The gravitational redshift. There are about 10 different proofs that this 4D world exists out there.
Done?
Just because you don't understand that's your...
So yeah, you're done. Okay, we don't live in a 4D world. You being able to calculate all of this stuff that you've just described that is observable in the real world doesn't mean that the 4D world is something we're existing in. I've already said that. You've ignored it.
Well, we live in a projection.
You keep saying that. We live in a projection of a world that doesn't exist. We're just going around in circles, Rumpus, with you with your zealotry and your fundamentalist religious belief that a world that doesn't exist affects one that does.
Ethan, we can measure it. We can detect it. We can do experiments on it.
It doesn't exist. It's a conceptual medium.
Experiments on it.
It doesn't exist. It's conceptual.
You can't
Where are you
measure it,
doing-
Rumpus. You can only calculate it.
Experiments in this world.
Yeah, but we're a projection of the 4D world, so we can...
That's his inference. No, our existence is a direct consequence because it's a projection of a world that doesn't exist. It's akin to me saying our existence is a projection of the existence in Narnia. It doesn't exist, but because I can calculate it, it has a direct bearing on the world that I experience. You can't experience Narnia, but it does affect the real world. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
No, I'm not, because Narnia doesn't
I mean,
affect the real world.
we're in straight science
And
fiction land
3D,
right now. This is
sorry,
ridiculous.
Narnia doesn't exist in the real world, but 4D space-time does.
In the 3D world.
In the 3D world, so in other words, no.
An experiment in which Narnia is affecting us, and then you've got a proof of its existence. And I've got proof of the existence of 4D world.
What was the phenomena?
The movement of the perihelion of Mercury, or the bending of light, or gravitational redshift. You pick. There are lots of things to check.
Okay, orbit. So you're saying the dependent variable in the experiment was orbit of Mercury?
Correct.
What was the independent variable?
The masses, the arrangement of masses of Sun and Mercury.
And how did you vary the arrangement of masses of the Sun and Mercury? How did you vary that?
Well, they vary themselves. They...
So you can't vary it as a researcher?
You don't need to.
That's what an experiment is. You varying and manipulating that which you assume causes the effect to see if it causes the effect. Not just allowing time to pass. Isn't that one of your dimensions in your 4D world?
It's guesswork at best, Rumpus. Guesswork.
You don't understand what...
So is that it? Don't understand back to an ad hominem attack?
Well, you don't. What I mean...
Yeah, that's it then. So that's the end of your argument. It's descended into ad homs, so that's the end of your time here. That's the end of your argument.
It doesn't need to be able to change it. It can happen naturally.
Sorry, you've got to vary and manipulate that which you assume causes the effect. It's got to be real. And you've got to be able to vary it to see if it causes it. Now you're saying it's just going to vary naturally. Well, it varied naturally during Einstein's mechanics and in Newtonian mechanics. But yet one worked, one didn't. It still just varied itself naturally, though. So this isn't an experiment because you can't control or vary that which you assume causes the effect. Got a lot of assumptions, though. Told us all about time dilation being assumed.
You can let nature do the varying.
No, not in an experiment. You, the researcher, must vary and manipulate that which you assume causes the effect.
Providing they get changed. Doesn't.
No, you must change them. You've got to be in control of that dependent variable by way of varying your independent variable. That's science, mate.
No, if you go and look at the citations, the more sophisticated ones are not for children under 5.
Oh, I see. So we're doing a different science for this then. I see. So you give me an independent variable, you give me a dependent variable, but suddenly they're in the context of a different science we're not talking about collectively. Well, that's interesting.
That was just gibberish.
Fuck you. Get out. That's the
Rumpus, you're just
word from Rumpus.
projecting
Piss
your
off.
projection.
Get out. Gibberish.
Just projecting.
No, my friend, not gibberish. The annihilation of your argument. Now get fucked. Go lost. Go away.
I agree with
He doesn't do experiments. Yeah, let's continue Star Wars and Star Trek and all that.
Yeah, no, he's the main character.
Who else got 4D world detectors?
All right,
Who
look,
else
I
got
want to
that?
ask Nathan Oakley this question then, because the Rumpus couldn't tell me yesterday. Are you
Okay.
there, Nathan?
I hear you, Don.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so on us, there's a lot of flat earthers will say, well, why doesn't the sun shrink if it's going across the plane? Well, I asked Rumpus yesterday, why doesn't the sun shrink on a globe model? Theoretically, you're moving away from it, so shouldn't you shrink? So I asked him, if you sent the drone up, say, 3 to 4 miles high, and stationary for about at least 5 hours, if you can get a battery life that long, put a solar filter on it and sit there, you're changing your field of view. Well, you're not really changing your field of view. You're just in a different perspective. So would you see something different? He said no, without even doing it. What's your take on it?
You're asking about something that's a not actual size. So it's kind of inconsequential. As much as I appreciate you asking my opinion, but to paraphrase what you're asking, why does the not actual size of the sun not change throughout its movement of position to its not actual location? It's an apparent position and an apparent size. So this question's meaningless. Sorry.
Right.
And
But
it
that's
does
why I said
change.
if you change your elevation, could we observe something different, a different phenomenon?
If you observed it changing in angular size, what would that tell you?
I don't know. I write it down. I asked Rumpus this. He said it wouldn't.
But
Without
if it
even
does,
doing it, though. That's the
yeah.
thing.
But at the end of that, so I'll give you both scenarios. You both go away. You show that it changes in not actual size. Look, here's it, this angular size, and now it's that angular size. It's got smaller, got bigger, doesn't matter. Right? So you're showing a not actual size change, apparent size. And then the contrary, someone comes and shows that it doesn't change in not actual size. What does that prove?
Apparent doesn't mean not actual, moron.
Well, Dave, I was watching Dave Weiss. He did the video of this, so I was watching his video, and it actually changed. It got a little smaller.
The sun.
Okay, so you've picked scenario one, someone with an example of a not actual size change. What did it prove?
For me, it proved. For me, I can. What I observe, the sun is just moving away further and further, not going over no horizon, geometric horizon.
It's far away, Don. It's far away.
So you've implied a physical assumption in terms of its actual movement then?
Sure, I assume I didn't say it was a fact like Rumpus.
I understand that, but that's the same assumption that the globers have. Now, flat earthers are just as guilty. I know it. Everyone on the panel knows it.
Don, the sun is far away.
We're wired with
Right.
a mindset that it's a physical item, right? And when our paradigm changes, that physical item that's described in the model as being at the center and us moving around it to give its movement apparent or otherwise, from our location. Well, that's described as the Earth turning, causing Coriolis deflection in the sun. It's not actual movement, i.e. it's us moving, not it. Well, when we have a paradigm change and move over to, in some instances, a flat Earth model, then you still have this assumption of this body of light, often depicted above a model, rotating. Well, that's a physical assumption bias. I have no idea what the sun is, what it's doing. Literally nothing. I've got no clue. I can describe the not actual changes in direction from my position. I can change the actual, the not actual size of it, depending on what I look through. You know what I mean? So what's it telling me? It's not telling me anything. That's the answer. And I've tracked the damn thing. Maybe some of the people on the panel were there when we did Tracking the Sun, which we did twice. You know, we watched it move around the world live, and it didn't teach us anything. Showed us the time and date was.
Well, see, I get where you're getting at, Nathan. I definitely agree with you when we don't know what the sun is. I don't know what it is. That's why I'm around here asking questions.
We know what it is. We know what it is, Don.
Oh, you do? That's not honest.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Sure, I'm not saying that's bad, other than your question's framed with an assumption. And I'm not saying that's your fault. We're steered down that road the moment we get here. The moment we get to this subject, you've got models shoved in your face with little balls of light moving around them. Well, you know, you mentioned David Weiss. He's got an app that does exactly that. Well, okay, did you verify that's what the sun is and what it does? You didn't. It just seems to do that, and you've made a physical assumption that it's a ball of light, like a torch moving around above a flat Earth. Okay, that's a model then. What's been verified in that? Well, nothing. Literally nothing.
Verified by reality.
Look, I'm not looking.
Verified against reality.
Nathan, I'm not looking at the model. I'm looking at the nature of the sun, and if you change your elevation, what you would observe differently, if that will have any effect. That's what that's what I was asking, and Rumpus told me no, without even doing it.
I understand, but even if you observed it or didn't, it wouldn't prove anything either way, is my point. The only way it does is when you start with an assumption of its physicality and its movement based on its physicality in either globe or flat Earth models. It's a bit like arguing about whether or not the horizon's bent. It works to their advantage, which is why he probably conceded it either way, because it doesn't matter either way. As long as your assumption is that it's a physical item, he can then juxtapose his model with the physical light in the sky and its distance based on a heliocentric assumption versus your pizza pie assumption with a light above a pizza pie. And he can say, mine works better. It's like, which one of you established what the sun was? Oh, neither. Right, okay. Oh, well, this is a really fun argument. Stacked in the favour of the globe, because you've got their false dichotomy fallacy immediately.
What's another fact? It's the fact when you get one that will come at you and be like, "Oh, well, why doesn't it shrink?" Well, it's the same. It begs the question on their model: why doesn't it shrink as well? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you're into a false dichotomy with an assumption of physicality. So yeah, which model will work better? Well, it shrinks on your model. Well, it doesn't shrink on my model. Well, I can show it not shrinking. Well, I can show it shrinking. Well, who cares? You're in a false dichotomy. We don't live on a model. Neither represents the ground beneath my feet. In terms of the sun's representation on either of those models, neither has validated what the sun is or how it's doing what it's doing.
Appreciate your feedback, Nathan.
It's a pleasure. It's useful for the audience because they get to hear the false dichotomy fallacy of the models that they're going to be introduced to if they're newbies, and how it's like you get so hung up on, well, how does it work in my model? How does it overcome their assertions? How can I show something that works with my model that disproves their model? And you get so hung up on it, not realizing that, no, you don't need to be arguing about this at all. When, what's the sun? If that was asked first to both parties offering a model, both of them would scratch their head and one side would come up with a string of assumptions.
I like to quote my good friend Akumo Virus. We don't live on a model.
Hey. You damn right. You damn right. You say it again.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah. We don't do no damn model, right?
We don't live on
Go
model.
ahead, bro.
That does make sense.
Excellent. anybody in the misapprehension that they're on the heliocentric model. You're not.
Yeah, 'cause y'all just heard a Glober and a flat earther both agree we don't live in no damn model. So awesome.
But having the sun at the
You're right.
center and us moving
The
around.
common sense. It's common sense. Thank you.
Common sense. The description of the sun at the center and us moving around it is just a description in a model, though, and we don't live on that model, so that description's just nonsense. We're not moving around at the sun.
Description of the world being flat is just a model, but we don't live on that model.
No, it's an aspect. It's not a model. Flat is an aspect, not a model.
Hey, Virus, common sense. You just said it, right? So you must think you have it.
You like that
So
one?
How come we don't observe Earth-based Coriolis, Virus?
You would like to have that conversation, would you? If you want to have that conversation,
Well,
you
you
can.
just.
I don't
Well,
mind.
I'm trying to see how much common sense you go with.
Okay, just 10th man and Virus. Nobody else, please.
Virus.
All right, 10th, what's up?
Hey, buddy. Earth-based Coriolis. Is the Earth rotating?
Yep.
Okay. And if you go into the initial reference frame, is the Earth rotating under you?
I don't care about. I'm not good at reference frames.
Okay, let me make it simpler. If you get off the Earth, is the Earth rotating while you're off it?
Depends on the situation.
Wait a minute.
How
Is
far
the
off
Earth
the Earth are
rotating?
you
You
moving?
answered yes, correct?
How far off the Earth are you moving?
Excuse me. Let's go back to the first question. I asked you, is the Earth rotating? How did you answer that?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now, if you get off the Earth, does the Earth stop rotating or is it still rotating?
What's your definition of off the Earth?
Common sense. Don't play word games. Is the Earth rotating
I'm
if
not
you're
playing
off
word
the Earth?
games. Common sense.
Is
People
the
can mean
Earth
different things when they say
rotating
something.
if you leave the surface of the Earth?
So you mean like 1 foot off the Earth?
I don't care if it's 1 inch. Is it still rotating,
Okay,
or
then
does it
that's what I was
pause the
asking.
minute you leave?
No.
What?
No. Is the Earth rotating if you leave it 1 inch? He said no.
Okay, so it's not rotating anymore?
Like pulling teeth.
Uh-oh.
Give him a few seconds.
Well, that common sense
That's the end of the
went
argument
for a
then, right?
rest. Yeah, common sense just went to bed.
Maybe I've got a Discord issue. Someone else in Discord
Okay,
says me.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, where did we leave off?
Okay, no worries. We had a Discord issue. Let me summarize the position. You were asked if Earth rotates. You said yes. And then you were asked if Earth rotates if you leave it. And you said no.
Is that where you stand?
We standing?
Yeah.
Well, that's a contradiction.
Only the people that don't understand.
Wait a minute. The Earth rotates, but the minute I'm off of it, it stops rotating?
Nope. I didn't say that.
Well, what happens to it when I leave the surface of the Earth? Is it still rotating? Yes or no then?
Yep.
Okay, so the Earth is rotating if I leave the surface of the Earth, correct? Verification of that again?
Yeah, it still rotates.
Okay, good. So when I leave the Earth's surface on a helicopter or an airplane or a hot air balloon or any device that gets me off the Earth is rotating underneath me, correct?
Not just underneath, you're rotating with it. It's all y'all rotating.
Oh, I'm talking about the Earth. Now you're talking about something else that's rotating. What is that?
I know I'm talking about you and the Earth, because you're talking about you as well too. Both of y'all are rotating.
No. If I leave the Earth, I'm no longer with the Earth that's rotating. So what am I rotating with to keep up with the Earth? Please explain.
Atmosphere.
Oh, so now you want to say the atmosphere is rotating? Different conversation we're going to have if you go there.
Well, I never said that. I never said anything different.
Are you saying the atmosphere is rotating?
Yep.
So you're saying that as the Earth is going in a particular speed in your model, The atmosphere keeps up exactly with it?
It keeps up with it. I ain't gonna say it's not in lockstep, but it keeps up with it.
Oh, okay. So it's not lockstep, but it keeps up with it. So how do you explain all the different wind directions, north, east, south, and west?
Pressure.
Pressure? How do you explain pressure without containment?
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere is air.
Weight.
Weight.
That's what atmosphere. Yeah. Weight.
Wait a minute. Air, gases go in all directions, and you're saying pressure is weight?
No. Pressure is a force. I didn't say pressure is weight. You asked how do we have this pressure, and that is because of weight. The atmosphere is here because of weight.
And how does the atmo air not bugger off, as Nathan says, into outer space right next to your vacuum?
Weight, and they don't have infinite kinetic energy.
Well, can you demonstrate this weight without a container?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, please. I can't wait to see it. So you're going to show gases staying out and creating pressure without containment. I like to see this.
Just look at the way our atmosphere is composed
No,
of
no,
gases
no, no,
and how
no,
much
no. Show it to me.
Hold on.
You're like
Hold
rumpus
on,
right
10th. Say that again, Virus. I didn't catch it.
He said, just pay attention to the way our atmosphere is composed of gases and which gases make it up and which gases don't.
All of
the
them.
reason they don't make it up is because they're heavier.
All of them make it up. What are you talking about?
No, we only lose nitrogen. I mean, we only lose hydrogen and helium to space. We don't lose oxygen and the other
Let
elements
me just
because they're
summarise
too
what you're
heavy.
being asked. What you've done is you've appealed to your fundamentalist religious belief about what Earth is to answer this question about how you would achieve the weight for the gas without a container. So don't just beg the question and say, well, Earth is a containerless system, because that's what the word atmosphere does. It begs the question. So you're assuming that the gas takes the shape of a sphere in a vacuum. That's what atmosphere means.
What?
So don't just beg the question
that's
that
not what
air
it means.
takes sphere shape. To answer the question, how do you weigh gas without a container?
How do you weigh gas? What do you weigh? You could use the atomic weight, atomic mass. You can figure it out that way.
Not calculate it. How do you
Or
weigh
you
it?
could just use a container. I mean,
The
it
end-
doesn't matter. You're trying to keep it pure
You want to
anyway.
summarise 10th because it's the end of his argument. Because essentially what he's saying is the reason is because gas goes down, it has weight. Gas go down, go boom boom is what you're saying, basically, Virus. Gas doesn't go down.
No, it doesn't.
My
It
bad.
doesn't go boom boom.
My bad. Summarising your position, my friend.
Well,
So,
you're wrong.
My
you're wrong.
bad. You've said it's got weight. Shut up. So, your assertion is gas goes down. Go boom boom. Like solid bonded
Go boom.
bouncy balls poured into a fish tank. When in reality, regardless of your begging the question fallacy that you utilise the word atmosphere, an assumption that air, that's gases, takes the shape of a sphere in a vacuum, in violation of natural law. When in reality, gas expands in all directions. It doesn't go down. In fact, quite the contrary, it makes its way up. That's why the air is up at the top of Everest. Yeah? Because it's made its way up. So it's not going down, it's going up. End of your argument. No, weight doesn't explain.
Weight does explain. You just said it goes.
Yo, dipshit. Gas doesn't go down with weight. It requires containment. You appealed to your fundamentalist religious belief in atmosphere to answer 10th man's question about how you'd weigh a gas. So no, your atmosphere assertion is a begging the question fallacy. It also is a fundamentalist religious assertion. You're pointing at the sky and going, it is a vacuum, and gas has weight. That would imply it's going down. I've already debunked this by pointing out it's not going down, it's going up. It's making its way up to the top of Everest, not falling down from the sky. It's not going down. You're wrong. It's the end of your argument. Don't just chant wait at me again.
Oh, Mount Everest proves you wrong on every account.
Why? Because gas has made its way from ground level up to the top of Everest, going up?
No.
Yes, that's what it's done, you stupid idiot. You're asserting it's got weight going down. That's the answer to the problem. How do I weigh a gas? Atmosphere. I beg the question. It's the end of your argument.
Duh, let me tell you. You still have wind on Mount Everest, but you can't breathe. Where's the oxygen?
Who says you can't breathe? The Sherpas breathe all the time.
You said you got
No,
wind, but
you
it's no
need a
oxygen.
breathing apparatus to go on top of Mount Everest, unless you're very used to that low pressure of oxygen. You cannot breathe up there.
Oh, what? How you got wind up there? How did that wind get up there?
Because all other gases. Duh. I just said hydrogen and
What did you
helium
say?
and all that stuff make it up there. Oxygen don't make it up there.
How does it make it up there? You just said it make it up there. How does it make it up there when you're saying gas goes down? That's weird.
I say gas goes in all directions. I just don't say gas goes down. Y'all say gas don't go down in all directions for some reason.
No, that's you guys. That's not us. You
No,
know
that's
damn well
you.
we don't think gas
Nathan
goes
just
down
said it
because,
does
like
not
you
go
said,
down.
gas
It
moves in
goes
all
up.
directions, right? We
It goes in
can
all
agree that
directions
gas
for
moves in
me.
all directions, right?
For me, it does. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah,
Well, there goes.
I'm with you.
Y'all don't
I'm
think
with
it
you,
goes
bro.
down.
But
Yeah, I
what
got
about all these
Y'all
people
don't
that
think
say
it goes
gas goes
down.
down? That's a
Y'all
little
don't
weird.
think it goes down. It goes in all directions, including
Say it
down.
again, brother. Preach it.
Until what virus? Until what? Until it hits the sides of a what?
Nothing.
Oh, so you then you don't have pressure. So you don't have pressure then.
Why wouldn't I? It could bounce off the ground. It could bounce off
How
you.
do
It could
you
bounce off
get
anything.
pressure without an enclosed
You're
container
confusing gas
virus?
pressure and atmospheric pressure.
Oh my goodness! So much for common
What's the
sense.
atmosphere made out of? What's the atmosphere made out of?
Wait, do you understand why we have pressure?
The atmosphere is made out of wind, bro.
No, the atmosphere is made out of gas. Do you
You guys
understand
are
why we
wrong.
have pressure?
Bro, virus, calm down. What is the
Do you
atmosphere made out
understand
of?
why we have pressure? The atmosphere is
Isn't
made of
wrong to
gas. Do you
say.
understand why the atmosphere has pressure?
What is the atmosphere made out of?
Gas. But do you understand why we have pressure as an atmosphere?
So then that
What's the
gas
cause of
would
pressure?
actually have to have gas pressure, right?
What's the
So,
cause of pressure of the
so
atmosphere? Chocolate?
there's not really much of a difference between gas pressure and atmosphere pressure. If
I'm
atmosphere is made out
I'm
of
trying to
gas,
get
right?
you to answer that. I'm trying to get you to answer that, Chocolate. What's the cause of pressure of the atmosphere?
The cause of pressure is always containment.
You know, that's where you're wrong.
Yep.
That's not the cause of pressure for the atmosphere.
Can you show us where that's not
That's
right?
not the cause of in your
Can you
fantasy
show us
world.
any pressure without a
Yeah, that's
container?
fluid.
Gas
It's
pressure.
fluid dynamics. Fluid dynamics, bro. Come on.
Fluid dynamics describes gas pressure without a container. Do you know what the definition of gas pressure
Gases
is?
are unbonded.
Duh. Come on,
How
Rams.
do you have
You know
pressure
that.
without the container, bro?
You said what?
How do you have gas pressure without a container?
Yes. You can have
The
two different causes.
The definition of gas pressure is the force the gas exerts on the walls of its container.
Surface.
Now, why don't you look up atmospheric pressure? Since you want to look up pressure.
Oh, my bad. Do you want to beg the question again? You want to go to your fundamentalist religious zealot belief that air takes the shape of a sphere in a vacuum?
Let me have a talk with him, Nathan. Nobody's begging the question.
You're begging the question fallacy. Yeah, gas expands in
I'm
all
not begging the
directions.
question.
Is
I'm not
is
even
it really
asking a
troubling?
question.
Yeah, Nathan's talking, so gotta be Fundy muted immediately. I've already covered this. Don't just beg the question that air takes the shape of a sphere when it takes the shape of the container it's in.
Let me talk to Chocolate.
What, so you can beg the question of atmosphere like you've just told him to? Look up the definition of atmospheres where I stepped in. I've already pummeled this.
Yeah, because it's not begging the question. You ain't pummeled nothing.
Oh, right. So air takes the shape of a sphere, does it?
No,
No, so when we say atmo air, sphere, begging the question fallacy, and I point out that it's a begging the question fallacy to assume air takes the shape of a sphere, it's unreasonable to point it out and then have you beg the question with chocolate, is it? Not unreasonable, just a pummeling of your begging the question fallacy.
Hey, Nathan, are you afraid of him looking up the definition because it's going to show that it's not meaning what you think it means?
Atmo, that means air. Sphere means sphere. Does it not mean air sphere?
No.
Oh, right. Does it mean air contained? Because that's what it requires.
No.
No, I know
No.
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say contained air. It says sphere air. atmosphere means air that's sphere-shaped. And that's a begging the question fallacy that air takes the shape of a sphere, as opposed to air taking the shape of its container.
Lies, Nathan.
Lies? Okay, show me air in a sphere shape beyond your fundamentalist begging the question fallacy that the Earth does that. Show me air naturally taking a sphere shape without containment. Go.
What? Why would I do that when?
Because you're saying that it's lies to assert that it's a begging the question fallacy to assume that air takes the shape of a sphere in violation of natural law. Because air doesn't take the shape of a sphere, it actually takes the shape of its containment.
No, so I'm saying what is a lie is that.
So I'm asking you to show me air in a sphere shape. Can you do that beyond your fundy presupposition that the Earth does that by way of a begging the question fallacy word atmosphere?
Why would I do that when that's not what it?
Because that's your claim. Your claim is atmosphere gets around this because in my religious belief, air is sphere-shaped. I already covered this. Now you want to do it with chocolate.
That's not what that means. And
atmosphere doesn't mean sphere air.
No.
Yeah, it does, you fuckwit.
It does. That's not what.
Yeah, it does, you fuckwit.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. Atmo, air. Sphere, a sphere, presupposition used to beg the question that air takes the shape of a sphere rather than filling a container, which is what it does.
Wow, you don't know how to put words together too well, huh?
Is that your rebuttal?
It's not what that means.
Period. Yeah, fuckwit.
What does
atmosphere means air that's sphere-shaped. Atmo, air. Sphere, begging the question fallacy that you're going to utilize to assume that air is violating natural law, not filling its containment, but arbitrarily taking the shape of a sphere in a fucking vacuum. Yeah, that is definitely your begging the question fallacy. I have definitely pummeled it, and now I'm definitely stepping in to stop you assuming the same shit with chocolate.
Well, I'm not assuming that because that's not what.
Oh, you're not. So air, sphere-shaped by way of atmosphere, that's not an assumption because I've just pointed out that it is twice. Now you're just going to hand wave that and say, no, it's not an assumption. Yeah, it is.
I just told you about 15 times that that's not what that means.
Oh, air, sphere doesn't mean air, sphere. It means something else.
Yeah, atmosphere doesn't mean that.
Oh, my bad. Atmosphere doesn't mean air in a sphere shape. Stupid me.
Yeah, okay. I don't think you're stupid, but okay.
I know I'm not stupid. I'm telling you, you are stupid because you're telling me that, no, atmosphere doesn't mean I'm assuming air in a sphere shape. Yeah, it does.
Right. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. That's what it means. Maybe it's projection when you say I'm not very good with words.
Just look up the word.
Yeah, atmo. Look it up. It means air. Sphere. Look it up. It means a fundamentalist religious presupposition in this instance.
It doesn't mean anything about no sphere.
So, sphere has nothing to do with sphere. You're a fuckwit.
Why don't you look?
You are a fuckwit.
You won't see it in
Do you hear me, fuckwit? You are a fuckwit.
It's not in the definition.
Yeah, you're a fuckwit.
And it's not in the definition.
Yeah, you are indeed a fuckwit. That's right. Yeah, it absolutely
you're
means
dumb for not noticing that it's not in the
fuckwit. That's right, fuckwit. You are a fuckwit. Telling me it doesn't mean anything to do with sphere when it's in the fucking name. Makes you a fuckwit.
Don't you look it up?
The word.
Why don't you look it up?
I've looked it up plenty of times, you stupid idiot.
Do it again. It's not in the definition.
Do it again. No, I've already done it. It's a fundamentalist religious presupposition that air takes the shape of a sphere.
Sphere.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
The definition has nothing to do with a sphere.
Oh, really?
Yes, it does.
Why would it be in the name?
It says gases surrounding the Earth or another planet.
Surrounding the sphere-shaped Earth now? Surrounding the sphere-shaped Earth by any chance? Was it describing a flat Earth that it's surrounding?
Nope.
No,
so it's presupposing a sphere-shaped Earth then?
Because it's surrounding a sphere. It's not...
Oh, I see! So it's begging the question of a sphere then? So precisely what I pointed out as a begging the question fallacy, you're now detailing how it's assuming it's around a sphere Earth. Yeah, that's called a begging the question fallacy.
No, it's not.
No, you are a fuckwit, though.
Hey, well, you're a dumbass.
Virus, man. Let me down, brother.
What's up, man? What's up, Chocolate?
Virus, what you're doing is
You're just totally twisting the meaning of words, bro.
That's what y'all are doing.
This is pathetic, bro. You really just told us the atmosphere
Okay,
has
so
nothing to do with a sphere.
It literally does not say
Virus,
gas
virus.
takes the shape of a sphere. It literally says that.
Virus.
It does not
Virus.
say that.
No, it doesn't say it takes the shape of a sphere. It just says it surrounds a sphere.
Exactly, just like
So nothing to do with a sphere. It's just saying it's surrounding a sphere. You complete fuckwit.
that doesn't mean it takes
That doesn't mean it's sphere shaped there. Yeah, it fucking does.
the outside of.
Yeah, it means it's sphere shaped there, you fuckwit.
Are you joking, dude?
No, he's just a complete fuckwit. That's what globe belief
Is
does
he
to you.
debunking atmosphere?
Yeah, that's what globe belief does to you. It turns you into a fuckwit.
How does it make a sphere
It makes you a fuckwit.
into space?
It makes you a fuckwit. You're saying, no, it's not saying sphere shaped there. It's saying air surrounding a sphere, making you a fuckwit.
Holding a basketball in the air. How is
So a basketball being a sphere that you're going to have air surrounding? Yeah, show me a basketball with air surrounding it and not expanding into the volume it has available. You can't.
Just
it
hold the ball.
doesn't. Gas fills the availability of volume. It doesn't surround spheres.
It does. Just
Oh, does it now? Yeah, I often pick up basketballs and go, holy shit, what's all this nitrogen doing surrounding this basketball? Because that's what gas does, right? It tends to circulate around balls. No, mate.
air surrounds the basketball. What you think? You hold a ball in the air and it just disappears away from it?
Yeah, it's equally dispersed throughout the containment.
So you still have gas surrounding a basketball.
Yeah, and the rest of the volume that it has available to it.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah, so in terms of Earth as a sphere, then, it wouldn't just be just around the sphere. Like your basketball, it'd be everywhere else as well. So the gas wouldn't just be stuck to the side of a sphere Earth, as per heliocentric descriptions of atmosphere. Like the basketball, the gas would be everywhere else too. And likewise, the sphere Earth would have no gas. It would be everywhere else as well. That would be space. The space it can fill. Unless, of course, you assume that the air's just going to surround a ball, right?
no.
Well, that's what atmosphere means. It means air surrounding a ball now, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't? That's what you've just said it means. I said air sphere. You said, no, it means air surrounding a ball. But now it doesn't mean that, because I piss all over it when I describe a basketball that hasn't got just all the air around it and then a vacuum around the rest of the gymnasium, but gas equally dispersed in all directions, not just around the ball, as per your heliocentric worldview.
You're trying to twist what I say like you normally do.
Oh, yeah, you described the basketball. Yeah, and all the air around everywhere in the gymnasium was equally dispersed. But yet in the heliocentric world, you've got this magic ball in space with gas not expanding in all directions. Unlike basketballs, because they don't have that. See this picture on screen? We've got Earth, claimed to be a sphere, with the clouds, right? And this black bit being a vacuum and the clouds not dispersing into it. Well, I've never seen a basketball with clouds around it. What the fuck?
It disperse. Why would it disperse?
Because that's what gas does. It's called the second law of thermodynamics.
And what?
And it's a law of nature. This picture on screen violates it. Earth as a sphere stands in direct violation of the second law of thermodynamics. And with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley. Be sure to check out the £50 rebate in the info box below for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. And I'll see you all in the next video.
day!